Talking CRM with Jeff and David, getting the best value for their whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems. David Beard, CRM Principal, and Jeff Richards, Head of Training Program Development for Sage CRM, spend time chatting with customers, resellers, and others about Sage CRM in action around the globe. In this episode, we talk with Paul about how he first learnt of the Sage CRM product, a long way from Jamaica, and the history he has with Sage 300 and Sage CRM in the Caribbean marketplace. Hello, welcome along. This is another in the series of Talking CRM, the podcast with Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, David. Hello, Paul.
And David, hang on, I haven't got my intro into Paul yet. Just a second there, Jeff.
There you go. That was a lack of professionalism from me already.
Unscripted totally, as ever. So welcome along, another session. And this time we're talking to our man in Jamaica, he says, stealing something from another novel. This is Paul Collister, who joins us today. Hello, Paul.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, David.
See, he said hi, Jeff, first of all. There you go. We all know who is the most important now.
All right, I'll shut up then. I'll just say nothing. Go on.
You're very welcome, Paul. And where did we first meet?
Me and the team came to Ireland to attend your CRM conference. It's a pretty long way from Jamaica. And it was, for us, that was a watershed moment. The presentations were excellent. We were able to see how deep the product was and what the potential was. And we spent a lot of time interacting with the third-party CRM publishers. Obviously, we'd been in the Sage space for quite some time, so we knew quite a lot about Sage 300, which is our other product, but we didn't know much about the CRM ecosystem. So it was really quite an important moment for us.
Just slightly pause there for a second. You're based in Jamaica, Paul. Tell us about your background with 300, first of all, and then we'll get back into the CRM story, if you would.
Very good. We set up the business in 2004, and we are a Sage 300, business partner, and we're doing that from anywhere. We have some of our own products. We're actually a Sage 300 development partner too, and we were one from about 2006. We were in that space. And we were playing around with CRM a little bit, but we didn't really this is in the first sort of decade of the business, but we really didn't understand what the potential was. So we just focused on our Sage 300. But what happened was that we attended a conference that Sage put on it where they did CRM certification. Me and our head of software development, we attended that training session. And it was a watershed moment because we realized at that point that we could actually use CRM as a development platform. And it was much easier to do than to develop Sage 300 products because, essentially most of the programming is already done. And obviously there are built-in connectors to Sage. So what we started doing was putting requests for customization into the CRM and packaging our custom software products as CRM solutions. So essentially, if you do that, you really you probably cut about maybe 50% of the work because all your user administration, a lot of the connectors, it has dashboard capabilities. And the other thing we were doing as well is we were taking the Sage intelligence, displaying the dashboards within Sage CRM and stuff like that. Really what happened is between about 2012, I think when this training session was, and about 2015, we were playing around with that technology. And so what we have done is we started building out our own integrations to Sage 300 and our own products based on that. So what started off as a bunch of custom products and customizations, essentially, we have packaged now as our off-the-shelf products. We started with the Collection Manager. What Collection Manager does is it records all of the transactions, all of the communications around the collection process in Sage 300. So what we have done is we pulled all the data from Sage 300, re-expressed it into various reports and dashboards and records based on entities. Essentially, what we do is tag those records with where it is in the collection process. And obviously, we use your dashboards so you can get your pipelines of where the process is, what happened, multiple reasons why people are unable to pay, or the dog ate the check, or the check is in the post, or whatever, or it's gone to the the legal process, it's in court, or we have lots and lots of different you might say different processes that we use and several workflows for the collection of receivables. And obviously we pull all the Sage 300 data seamlessly into using your APIs into our collection manager. So we consider that quite a nice little product. It really doesn't require anything more than Sage 300 and Sage CRM.
What you're doing is you're moving what some view as a traditional financial process into the front office tool of CRM, right?
Exactly. And that's what CRM is best at. It's an amazing workflow tool. As anybody who's been using CRM will know that you can build out workflows quite easily at a program level within the CRM. What we do is we write our own code these days and compile it, and essentially that allows us to sort of automate the process, and it does a pretty good job.
It's very good to hear. I'd like to delve into the experiences that you've had with using the development tools within Sage CRM. How have you found, first of all, the idea of creating those components? In here you might want to look at or think about the API options that you have, and then how do you deliver those as extensions to your customers?
We have several levels of customization. So if somebody wants a field moved or renamed or something, that's really a standard CRM. What we do really is we create our own programming structures within CRM. An example would be that, say, our shopping cart, we have an Amazon-like shopping cart that sits in the CRM program. At the moment, what we have it doing is packaging transactions that can be processed into Sage and then attaching your workflows around them and dashboards and alerts. Again, standard Sage CRM technology. And essentially what we do is we push the transactions from Sage CRM into Sage 300 with workflow processes around it. What that means is the user can start at a much earlier level understanding where in the process is the transaction. So, for example, a quote, there might be 3 or 4 people who touch a quote. There might be multiple calls from the customer that can be managed in CRM, those contacts, standard CRM again. And then what we do is we push at the ultimate end of the process, we pull all the master records from Sage. So, for example, we respect all the discount and price rules and items and customer information, etc., that is in Sage. Essentially, what we're doing is we're already adding to Sage 300 something that wouldn't be captured either in the first place, and then we're pushing the final stage of the process is to push it into the order and the invoice or the shipment, depending on the process the customer wants. So this is an example of how you can use CRM as a very powerful tool. Could you imagine if we'd had to try and build this product from scratch with all of the amount of programming hours, the amount of effort? So what we do is we just focus on essentially the cart piece of the technology and the integrations around that. These days we build our own integrations using your API, so we don't really use the Sage standard stuff so much. That's essentially how we do it. And the advantage of this approach is that you'd be able to marry the benefit of having the Sage 300 accounting engine to a much extended workflow process. I point out one of the things that customers love is the security, which is again is CRM, and also ability to audit transactions. And another advantage I would add is that the size of our CRM database, we have customers with like 120 gigs of data for Sage 300, and the CRM database is only 2-3 gigs. So that's just another little advantage. But they love the audit trail. Basically, we can tell the manager, I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but the Caribbean, Jamaican managers tend to be micromanagers, so they like to know, exactly what happened when. And that's when they get really excited, is if you can imagine that when a particular component process is completed, we could send you an email telling you where it is, or if there's an exception that needs to be addressed, that could be an email, or it can show up on that standard CRM dashboard. So that's essentially how we do it. So having moved from that, we're also moving into other Sage transactions. We now do inventory transactions. I don't know if you're familiar with this common request, is that, can I just use inventory that might come into the business partner? Yes, we can. With our cart, we can process PO transactions, inventory transactions, as sort of a thing onto itself, and they all get pushed into Sage the same way with the same workflows, alerts, and other standard technology. So essentially, you could also consider CRM in a sense a batch tool. Basically, there's a process. We can automate it, but there's normally a process. Sometimes the customers want to control the point at which the data enters Sage 300. They want somebody to vet it, look at the screen of the data to be processed and then push the button. Now that's an optional. We can automate it, or they can choose to push it. I mean, in terms of addressing your question about the API, we use this CRM API and we use the Sage 300 APIs and basically your standard, the SDKs that you give us. But we've actually developed a lot of our own libraries now. So we've got an extensive, as you can imagine, after maybe 7 years of this, we've got extensive libraries that we use to obviously make things quicker.
One of the experiences when you come to being able to take either the shopping cart application or the collection management application, are you delivering those as components? How does the customer experience that when it comes to being able to add that into their solution?
They're compiled products, so they're based on an install routine. What happens is the cart can essentially be installed by anybody. What is popular here is that, and it's probably what a lot of the role of what I would call the business partner or dealer would be to sort of do those customizations. We'd give you a standard workflow, which is, essentially this is how we do it, and then essentially they could customize it. The customer wants it to look a certain way or move things around, and things that CRM dealers do or CRM business partners do. So, I should explain that we're very familiar with working as the business partner relationship, because, we sell other CRM products for other dealers, and we sell we work with all the main Sage 300 publishers. So for us, we understand the relationship. Essentially, the product is such that you can download it and install it, and then take it away. If you want to come back to us for something, we'd be happy to help. But that's what the product is now.
In the next episode, we talk to Paul about his collection of add-ons for customers that help bridge front office to back office gaps, and the differences in working in the Caribbean market, and how CRM helps replace management by walking around with product features like dashboards.
You've been listening to Talking CRM with Jeff and David, getting the best for the whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems.